Hey everyone, Phase 2 is finally up on the PTR servers for a few days now actually, and as promised, we got to experience all the content that this new phase has to offer, including guild banks, the LFG tool, Shatari Skyguard, and of course SSC and Tempest Keep. But surprisingly enough, players discovered more unexpected things on the PTR, things that were supposed to be added later on in the game, but that are available right away. So today we'll go over these things. As we usually do with those PTR and beta videos, here's a disclaimer. None of these things mentioned here today in this video are guaranteed to make it to live servers when Phase 2 releases. Those may be bugs or oversights from Blizzard that will be removed before release. That being said, if it is on the PTR, there's a high chance it will make it to live servers. With that out of the way, here's 7 unexpected things discovered on Phase 2. Let's get into it. First, we have the Druid Swift Flightform questline available on the PTR. On Classic TBC currently, Druids only have access to the Slow Flight form, which only goes at a speed of 60%. This is a highly undesired way to fly for a lot of Druids, and many of them defaulted to buying a fast flying mount for 200 gold. Well, it turns out that the Fast Flight form is coming sooner rather than later. Indeed, the Swift Flight form for Druids was only added in patch 2.1, the Black Temple patch, so it was a pleasant surprise for everyone to see this available from now. So to get this, you'll have to go to Moonglade, after reaching level 70 and buying the Fast Flight skill for 5000 gold of course. You'll see this quest available from the NPC Lognar, Morthis Whisperwing, which will lead you down a long quest chain that ends in Setak Hall's Heroic, where you'll have to summon and defeat Anzu, the infamous boss that drops Reigns of the Raven Lord, which means that this mount is now available for farming as a byproduct. As a reminder, the Swift Flight form is one of the best and fastest ways to farm gold through gathering, not only because going in flight form is instant and doesn't require the usual 2.5 seconds cast time to summon a regular mount, but also because you can gather herbs while flying, making Druids real money-making machines. So go get this as soon as it's available and enjoy your new instant fast flight form as a Druid. Moving on, we have the LFG tool being unchanged. So Blizzard mentioned in their announcement a few days ago that the LFG tool would be coming to Classic TBC to make forming pugs easier and more organized than the mess that the Looking for Group channel currently is. And if you remember, back in BlizzConline, a developer hinted at this LFG tool being added to the game, but maybe modernized to make it more used than it originally was in its first iteration in 2007 in TBC. Well, it turns out that they actually didn't change anything to it. The LFG tool present right now on the PTR is the exact same one that was widely unused back in 2007 and 2008. The reasons why this was widely unused are many, but even today on the PTR, people prefer spamming the LFG channel than using this tool. If you look at how many people are even listing themselves here, the numbers are extremely low compared to how many players are present on the PTR. So the question is, should players be educated more on the presence of this tool and pushed and incentivized to use it more to make it more useful for everyone? Or does the issue lie in the fact that this first iteration of the LFG tool is just very limited? Hard to say really, but I do think that if Blizzard was to just copy-paste the LFG tool from retail to Classic TBC, this would be a way better system than what we have on the PTR today. As a reminder, before you bring out your torches and forks, the LFG tool from retail does not automatically match you with a random group and automatically teleport you to the dungeon. That's what the dungeon finder is for. No one is asking for that. That should stay in retail. But rather, the big difference that makes the LFG tool from retail superior to the one on the PTR currently is the fact that it's kind of flipped on its head. With the PTR LFG tool right now, it's the group leaders that need to search for members. In retail, it's the people looking for a group that look for one. That makes it a way better tool in my opinion. Anyways, as for now, this is what we have. Do you think this tool will be used and actually useful on the live servers, or do you think it's just gonna be like it was in 2007 and how it is on the PTR right now, a forgotten feature? And more importantly, do you agree that Blizzard should add the LFG tool from retail? Leave your thoughts in the comment. For now, let's move on. Something else that is surprisingly on the PTR right now is the Marks of the Illidari. This is an item obtainable from the trash mobs inside the raids SSC and Tempest Keep, and Black Temple and Highjaw in the future. And with this, you can buy flasks identical to the current flasks in TBC, but with the caveat that you can only use them inside tier 5 content raids and beyond. So not Karazhan, Gruul or Mechtheridon. You can buy these, by the way, from a vendor in either the Scryers or Aldor Bank, but the vendor only starts selling you these if you're exalted with all of Cenarion Expedition, Aldor and the Shatar. Now you might be wondering, why is this on the list? Well, it's because this was actually added with patch 2.1 originally, the Black Temple patch. Before that, this vendor didn't exist, and the trash inside SSC and TK did not drop those. Now, I don't see any caveat in having those in Phase 2 other than the fact that the regular flask prices may be affected, for better or for worse, since you can actually trade and sell those Marks of the Illidari on the auction house. So with tier 4 content getting nerfed and not being on progression anymore for a lot of guilds, there's gonna be very little incentive to make the regular flasks anymore, meaning that alchemists will lose a gold making option. Well, given that alchemy is probably the profession with the most gold making options, but still, it feels bad for anyone who made flasks to make gold. Again, this might be an oversight and this could be removed from the trash in SSC and TK the moment someone at Blizzard notices it, but for now, it's here. Moving on. The next thing on our list is a quick one, the spit emote getting removed. Well, not actually removed, but not usable on players anymore. This came out of nowhere, and we're still not sure whether this is a bug or if it's intended, but doing /spit on a player, or an NPC surprisingly, just does nothing. You can only spit on the ground. Players speculate that this is a change to combat toxicity and harassment in-game. I can't tell you how many times I got spit on for using the Dark Portal Hearthstone or the Warp Stalker mount. I even made a weak aura that automatically replies with "thinks you're poor" when someone spits on me. But anyways, this is a change, and this is a change that sees the light of day on Classic first before retail. So sorry people who spit on Blizzard whales. I'll only say one thing, /fart on the rise. Something else players discovered on the PTR is the Epic Engineering Goggles. This came as a surprise because those were only added in patch 2.1 again, Black Temple patch. But Blizzard decided to add them right now in Phase 2 ahead of time. Why? We're not sure, but they are here. So what are Epic Engineering Goggles and why do you need them and how do you craft them? First, you can obtain these very easily by talking to the Grandmaster Engineering Trainer at either Thrallmar or Honorhold, and then you'll be able to craft them. Now, they are a bit pricey to make, but nothing absolutely crazy to be honest. They all share the same reagents, with the exception that some require orange gems, some require red gems, and some require green gems, etc. Feels bad if your best one requires a living ruby. But the reason why this is such a big deal is because those are actually really good. Best in slot for some classes until Sunwell. I think some classes don't even replace them in Sunwell, but I could be wrong. Let me know if your class doesn't replace them ever in the comments. And where there's power, there's incentive. A lot of players will be dropping whatever profession they have to go engineering now to get these goggles. I mean, why wouldn't they? It's a best in slot piece of gear that's decently cheap to make. So we will see a rise in popularity for engineering now, because up until now there was very little incentive to go engineering for a lot of classes, but this will single-handedly change that. One weird thing though is that the gyro balanced Corium Destroyer, a best in slot gun for prot warriors that was also added in patch 2.1, is not available from those trainers. Hard to say if this is intentional again or an oversight, but it is something I just wanted to mention because I find it interesting that they would add the goggles but not this gun. Another quick thing that I personally discovered on the PTR by complete luck is that now, once you get disconnected for any reason, your internet drops, you move out of Wi-Fi range, your dog trips on the wire, any reason really, you're now put on the logging screen again, but this time you have this big reconnect button. And if you press it, after your connection is re-established of course, you'll automatically be put on the character selection screen again. A super neat feature. No longer do you have to type in your password again or close the game entirely and launch it again from Battle.net. This feature isn't even on retail right now. For all I know, it could be a PTR thing only, but I really hope it's added to the live servers too. This is too good of a quality of life feature. And finally, the last unexpected thing on the PTR is that the PvP faction gear, which was announced a couple days ago to be added, is not on the PTR currently. Before we go further, if you don't know what the PvP faction gear is, we talked about it on our news recap video, but here's a quick summary. In patch 2.4, the Sunwell patch, quartermasters for each faction across Outland were given a specific PvP piece of gear to sell. This was a catch-up mechanic for players who wanted to get into PvP and didn't want to have to compete with super resilient decked players in Arena in patch 2.4. So Blizzard announced this a couple days ago to be added ahead of time. Now here's their exact words.
So also we are planning to bring forward the Outland faction gear ahead of Sunwell's release to make it easier for players to get into PvP as we go.
As you can see, Holly Longdale here did not specifically mention that this would be coming with Phase 2, and she also called it the Outland faction gear. Now, here's a few reasons why this isn't on the PTR currently. First, they may just have forgotten to add it now, and it's gonna be added eventually. This is the most plausible explanation, to be honest, but as I said a second ago, Blizzard didn't say that it's coming in Phase 2, and they also called it Outland faction gear, which could mean anything. Of course, this is in the context of a Phase 2 announcement, and they did mention Sunwell, which was the patch the PvP gear I'm talking about was added, so both those reasons are less likely. But yeah, those are few of the reasons why the faction PvP gear isn't on the PTR yet. The most plausible reason is probably because they forgot to add it yet. Maybe they plan on doing a PvP test on the PTR with Season 2 available, and make this gear available then, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's everything I have for today. Those were 7 unexpected things that we discovered on the PTR servers. As a reminder, the PTR is running right now and there's tons of players playing it around the clock. So if you want to test these things for yourselves and do the new raids, you can do so without a subscription even, and you're even given a character to gear up with all the gear in the game. So join in on the fun if you want to. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give it a like and subscribe to the Classic WoW Curios channel for more content like this. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.